All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. I'm going to talk about the amazing, about the strangeness and the amazing salvation that the Israelites are going to get. And I'm going to start off by talking about Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, and about how the wicked elite think in their mind that they're going to be able to oppress and destroy the elect of the nation of Israel and the people in general as a whole. I'm just going to go into it. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. So these thoughts that they had was not right. These thoughts that they had that I'm about to read were not correct. Alright? For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter, as though we have never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart. Which both of those things that they thought was not true, a man has returned from the grave, that's Yahushai. Right, and after we die, we will be here again. Because after we die, we live again, and then our judgments are decided upon the earth. Verse 3. Which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish away. So like, and our spirit shall vanish as a soft air, which our spirit goes back up to the heavens when you read the scriptures. And let me see if I can find that in Ecclesiastes. When you die, your spirit goes up. It doesn't say that. It doesn't mention nowhere that your spirit gets destroyed. Here we go. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. So when you die, you don't just but your body don't just get turned into ashes and then you're destroyed, and your spirit's destroyed as well with you. Your spirit returns up to the heavens. Let me carry on this, because these people in this world are going to get to see some crazy stuff, man, regarding these people that they thought were nothing, and these people that they thought would just be continually oppressed by them. Verse 4. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance, which Yahweh's got their works in remembrance continually, because they're going to have to pay for their works. All right, and even us as the nation of Israel, we have their works in remembrance, and that's why, for according to Obadiah 1 and 10, for violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. We ain't forgot what they did to us, and the world hasn't forgot what they did to us either, and neither have they been able to forget what they did to us. They like to claim that no one alive today was a part of that, yet the remembrance of all of it is still here. Verse 4. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and our end there is no returning, for it is fast sealed that no man come again. Come on therefore, and let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass us by. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without our part of voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this is our portion, and our lot is this. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient grey hairs of the aged. Let our strength be the law of justice, Esau's sword. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. And that's where I'm going to end on this scripture, and then I'm going to move on to Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, because they thought that they was just going to be able to make their strength be the law of justice, but they forgot that there was a salvation promised to the Israelites. In fact, let me go to Wisdom of Solomon 12 first before this. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12 and verse 17. For when men will not believe that thou art full of power, thou showest thy strength, and among them that know it, thou makest their boldness manifest. And that's what Yahweh is getting ready to do. He's getting ready to make it known why people believe in him so much. Why there's people out there that believe in words in the Bible so much, because they understand that the words in the Bible are backed by an energy source, are backed by an actual entity, Yahweh. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labours. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for, because they thought, well, let our strength be the law of justice, because that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. These people say that they've got this God and all of this stuff, but whenever we try and do something to them, it seems like we're able to do it. So it don't seem like there's no point in believing in a God. That's what they thought in their mind, but that's not the way that it actually was, because Yahweh was always giving them the power to do those things, because we wasn't doing the things that we were supposed to do. We wasn't worshipping Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, so that he would protect us. So like verse 3, and they repented and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honour. How is he numbered among the children of God, and his lot among the saints? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We reared ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction, yea, we have gone through deserts where they lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, they have not known it. And there's a lot of people out here that are living all these different ways on the earth, and they actually think that they're living in a godly way because they're rich, or they're living in a godly way because they're healthy, or they're living in a godly way because they're because they're smart, but they're not living in a godly way. And it's going to be made known to them when they see those that were living in a godly way elevated and saved through chariots of heaven, which the world likes to call UFOs, unidentified flying objects, or UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Verse 8, what have pride profited us, or what good have riches with our vaunting brought us? All those things are passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hasted by, as a ship that passeth over the waves of the water, which when it is gone by, the trace thereof cannot be found, neither the path of the keel in the waves. Salakia. Or as when a bird have flown through the air, there is no token of a way to be found, but the light air being beaten with the stroke of their wings, and parted with a violent noise. Salakia. With the violent noise of the motion of them is passed through, and therein afterwards no sign where she went is to be found, or like as when an arrow is shot at a mark, it parteth the air, which immediately cometh again together, so that a man cannot see from whence it from where it went through, which is what's going to happen with these heathens. All the ways that they believed in, and all the things that they built, all the buildings that they had, all the philosophies that they have, when the Israelites are brought into their kingdom and into their power, all of those things are going to be destroyed. And after a couple of generations, all those things are going to be forgotten, man. All the memory of those things is going to be evaporated out, and it's just going to seem like it was always the Israelites in power. Just like how right now people believe that it was always Esau ruling, when it wasn't, and they don't believe that there was ever any other time that anybody else was doing anything, especially us Israelites. Verse 13, even so in like manner, as soon as we were born, as soon as we were born began, so like it, even so we in like manner, as soon as we were born began to draw to our end, and had no sign of virtue to show, but were consumed in our own wickedness. And that's how these people are. They've been consumed in their own wickedness, man. Verse 14, for the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with a tempest, and passeth away as a remembrance of a guest that tarrieth but a day. The picture of the person just comes through a neighborhood for one day. That person will be forgotten after a while. People ain't going to remember them. It's just a normal person that stayed around. People aren't going to remember them. Verse 15, but the righteous live forevermore, and we are going to live forever. The elected nation of Israel, the Israelites in general, are going to live forever through being under that new covenant, where the laws are put in their mind and their hearts, which is spoken of in Hebrews, the 31st chapter, and Hebrews, so like a Jeremiah, the 31st chapter, and Hebrews the 8th chapter, and that covenant causes for a man or woman or to never be able to sin, even if they wanted to. They're just naturally going to be perfected by being able to do the things that God finds acceptable. Verse 16, therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. And that's, man, that's going to be a beautiful thing, man, for those that receive it, to have a crown as a constant memorabilia that you like was righteous, man. That's going to be a beautiful thing to hold as a remembrance continually, that you was able to fight against this world, man, and you overcame this world. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. And that's what we're waiting for, man. The amazing salvation of the Israelites. But this world is trying to stop us from being able to do that. But we have to just continually strive, man. No matter how weak we get, if we get weak for a day, weak for a few days, weak for a week, we have to still continue to remember that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's mercy endures forever, and there's only thing that we have to hope for is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man, and there ain't nothing else. And I'll end the lesson there. All praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the nation of Israel. Shalom.